Good evening. I'm Gerald Moon. I'm from Commerce, Georgia. I was raised here all my life, went to school at Commerce Public School Systems. Have moved from the Commerce Police Department at one time. I worked for Harold Stansel, if anybody remembers him. After I left Commerce, I went to Winder, worked for Gerald Thomas. At that time, Gerald retired, became the public defender's or the district attorney's public investigator. I stayed there with Winder and went from the patrol position to the chief's job. Then I left and went over to the sheriff's office, and apparently at the particular time I'm still working at the sheriff's office in Barry County. I travel back and forth to work, and I've pondered this point till I've waited till Stan decided he wanted to retire, because I really didn't want to get into a battle with him. Because I respect him and I hope he respects me. What I want to do is give back to the people that I was born and raised with, people that I grew up with, went to school with. I want to be there for them, their kids, their children, their grandchildren. I want to give them the benefit that a lot of us sometimes today don't have. I have enough experience through the department in law enforcement. I've been there about 45 years plus. I just like to be able to give back to the people of Jackson County, benefit them, do what I can for them, and I'd like to be the people's sheriff that I could assist them, so I'm just a phone call away. Anything else that I could do to assist Barry County and becoming a better county and assisting the people to do that part, I'll be willing to do that. You just need to tell me let me know what you want, and then I'll know what I can do for you or whatever. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's nice to see some of the old friends, and nice to see if I can make some new ones. And I appreciate you voting on July 31st. Thank you. The first three challenges that are inquired, one would be exactly what Janice said. You need to look after your people that you have working for you. You need to make sure that they're comfortable with what they're doing and have the equipment to work with. Second thing is they need to look after the people of Jackson County. That's exactly what you're paid for. You want it, and no matter how small a crime it is or how big a crime it is, a crime to you is a crime. And a lot of times it can be devastating to the elderly, and you just need to take care of those people that's looked for you and looked after you all the years that you've been there. The third thing is if you're going to try to utilize what equipment you have, you need to probably consider setting up some units to patrol the neighborhoods that are having burglary problems or theft problems with metal fabrications and stuff that they like to pick up, air conditioners or whatever. You also need the community or the neighborhood to give you the neighborhood watch program to give you some assistance in helping you find what you do, because we can't solve the whole thing. We need other eyes and ears that are out there to our benefit that are helping us. Then that way we can help you. With that being said, if we can set those neighborhood watches up, get those patrol areas in the different neighborhoods, that way we may not curtail or stop completely the theft of those items, but you can certainly, visibility is a deterrent to crime, and that will end the program that they are trying to set up. And you also need to keep a check on your metal fabrication places you have around here where they go to get rid of that equipment or metal or air conditioners or whatever, cars, whatever. You need to keep a check on it and make sure that they're following the guidelines that are set by the state of Georgia to report that. And if you can just accomplish those things, if I can do that, then all I need is the voice of the people and to help me. Thank you. Again, as I said earlier, I'll have to concur with Janice. I don't believe you have a number one crime here. I don't know if there's a number one crime even in the country. If you have your drug problem and you have people stealing from you or stealing while you're at work, breaking into your houses, your shops, stealing other items from you, as I mentioned a minute ago, those metal and air conditioners, whatever they can get their hands on, that's an easy dollar for them. If you can curtail those problems with extra patrol in those neighborhoods, I think those people need it, and if I'm your sheriff, you need to let me know if you're concerned with that. then we'll try to beef that section up, because I always said visibility is a deterrent to crime. And if you surround yourself with the quality of people that you need working for you, then it makes, if I'm the sheriff, it makes my life a little easier. On the other hand, if you have a drug problem, in which all counties in Georgia do, if you're going to concentrate on it, you need to try to concentrate on the main portion, but you're going to have to get a hold of the small people to be able to find where the big supply is coming from. If you don't get the big supply coming from, it's never gonna make much of a dent in it, because it's too big a dollar thing. It's like the old revenuers years ago. The bootlegging was the thing to do. Well, once they legalized it, it kind of went away. I'm not saying you need to legalize drugs. I'm just saying that, you know, if they're going to do that part, you're going to have to beef up the program to get with them and make life a little more difficult for them. And if you can do that, then I'm not saying it's going to cause another problem, because it's going to beef up the jail processing or the prison section, and that's going to cost you more money on your tax dollar. But, you know, sometimes there's just no way around to giving you a good answer to whatever you're doing. But if you beef up the problem or beef up the patrol, you'll slow the problem down. Thank you. As I said earlier, I've worked from the patrol position to the chief's job at Winder. I'm currently a road deputy in the civil section at the Barrow County Sheriff's Office. I've also worked here at the Sheriff's Office here back years ago in Commerce PD. Like I said, I have about 45 years experience. I've handled budgets through the city of Winder. We had about a $2 million budget for the police department alone. We aggressively done whatever projects that needed to come up. At my times when I was working there, we set up a DARE program. I think we had the first DARE program anywhere in the area, and that was back in the late 70s, early 80s. We continued that through all the years. We also had a Citizens Police Academy set up. We've had different areas that we've engaged in drug activity and set up drug resources, as these other gentlemen spoke about. They worked. They didn't eliminate it, but they slowed it down. As I said a while ago, patrol is the main section, and a lot of times you have to know the areas that they're coming in at, and if they're coming in at it, they got that to work with. We've spent money on different projects for the school system. We set up a unit to have the school system monitored by the officers, that way the kids that's in middle school or the high school or even the elementary school we later got, to have them used to the police officer, where they could have lunch with them. I even set up a duty-free lunch for the teachers and the faculty at the school, which let them go to the library or whatever they needed to do, where they could have their own time to talk, do what they needed to do, and we monitored the lunchroom and looked after the kids that was there. If I can do that here, then we won't have that problem. I'll try it here. Thank you. I've encountered that over my time. Maybe I'm a little too old for some of this, I don't know, but I've encountered those departments where a lot of times you step on somebody else's turf, and that chief or that person will get their feelings hurt. So then you have to turn around and you try to kind of work with them to appease them with some of the things they do, but it can be done. And if you do that with the chiefs and the people that work for you, or the people that work for the police departments, and all it takes is a little communications. You just kind of got to be humble and learn to work with them and let them learn to work with you. Because if you're not on the same game plan, your battle's not going to do any better, because you're out there just kind of like running into the wall because nobody's going to give you help. And we need the public's help. We need the department's help. There ought to be some intercommunications between other counties where you can talk to them on the radio or whatever. Sometimes that don't happen. But just we need to rely on the situations that we have. Well, I'll have to concur with these gentlemen, or the ladies too. The take-home car is an asset to be able to keep the kind of personnel that you have, because if you don't keep them, or they don't have that car to use as they were promised, then a lot of times they go hunting another department. Then when they hunt another department, they're going to give them a car that you may see a Gwinnett County car sitting in Jackson County. You may see Oakwood or Monroe, Walnut Grove. I mean, it's just you look around your neighborhood and just see how many that's a lot further out of the county than Jackson County. It's an incentive to get quality help to be able to keep those patrol cars. It also is an asset to be able to use them when you need them during the night, or if they got a call, as Janice said, where you can get somebody out there in a moment's notice. And if you got them, then you need to utilize them. You may want to look at how they let them sit there and idle or anything like that. Excuse me, I'm taking over. But if you let it sit there and idle, they need to probably, if they're going to stay there for a while, they need to cut it off unless it's something they need to do. Thank you. In closing, I'd like to thank the Chamber, Gerald, and also the Jackson Electric Membership Corporation for allowing us to use this building and their courtesy for their refreshments. With that being said, like I said earlier, I'm a homegrown boy. Been around here all my life. Went to school here. I went other places to work. I just kind of drifted around, done what I needed, and then I finally just decided I'd do it. I want to come back home because my heart has always been in Jackson County. I've never denied where I was from. Matter of fact, I'm proud to let somebody know that. They used to rag me about it, but that's all right. They can rag me all they want. I'm still proud to be from God's country. With that being said, I want to be your sheriff where I can do do the service that I think that the county needs, and I'd like to be able to benefit any of y'all that anything that I can do. And I just want to give my heart and soul back to the people that I was raised with and went to school with, and I thank you. I appreciate it.